Not only can you create ideas, but you can also mix them down using Push and set the levels and maybe adjust effects or return tracks accordingly. So let's see how this works on Push. So I've collected a few ideas and I'd now like to set some levels and do some basic mixing using Push. In order to do this, I'll simply press the mix button to access my different mix volumes and levels for each track. I can do this in the note or session mode, but I'm also going to press the session button so that I can see each of the tracks and the clips that they contain. Now all the encoders above the display allow me to access my volume. I can now set the levels of each of the tracks. I can select each of the tracks simply by using the buttons below the display. If, for example, I've used a drum rack, I can select that track and by pressing it again, actually access the individual volumes of each of the drum parts. If I wish to mute or solo the tracks, I can press and hold the mute button and then select a track to mute it. The solo button is for soloing tracks. Now let's have a look at some of the deeper parameters that you can access for tracks in the mixing mode. The buttons above the display allow me to access volume, panning, and any return tracks I have available in that session. If I wish to access the panning, I simply have to press the pans button to access the panning of each of the tracks. I can use the delete button and hold it to reset any parameters to their default. I'm going to add in some effects using the return tracks. On send A I have some reverb. And on send B I have a delay. If I select a track and press the mix button for a second time, I can access the track volume, track panning, and the sends of that particular track. You can toggle between track mixing and overall mixing using the mix button. By pressing the master button on the right, I can also access the track volume for the master track, as well as the track panning for the entire master track. By pressing and holding the shift button, I can also adjust the cue volume using the master encoder.